Hey gang, Dan from Creepy Creations here, and just thought we'd give you an update here. We are about to start our Puking Pirate build, or I guess more accurately, our refurbishment of Electric Chairman. Not very piratey, so he's going to be a pirate real soon. So here he is, and we're going to end up probably doctoring him up with a bandana of some kind to make him look a little more piratey. But the old shocker piece has got to go, so that's coming off. And we'll have to cut him loose. We had to cut his hands free from the chair, as well as remove the mask that was holding in the flashing eyeballs. Then we removed the rods that were pushing his legs and all the electronics from the back of the chair. And he is now free of his tormenting chair. Some old running shoes made a great addition to our Puking Pirate dummy. We then pulled off the last of the electric chair parts, so we were left with the original throne. And there we have the bone throne. This is the original bone throne, actually, that Mr. Bones used to sit in before we stuck him on the barrel. So we basically stripped everything off that was formerly Electric Chairman, and Mr. Bones will take up residence here, and I think we're going to have our Puking Pirate puking into a barrel. So here's our barrel on a stand on wheels to make it easy to move, because the barrel itself is rather heavy. And now we are setting up a brace at the back here, attached to the base, but not actually permanently attached to the barrel, that our Puking Pirate will sit on. We built a strong pivot that would allow the pirate to remain upright and then bend forward. So we've got our dummy placed on top here now, and we've got ourselves our hinge with his metal here for a spine, and of course the tail end here. We've cut a slit in the shirt so that once it's put back on top, the shirt basically closes over, and we're still relatively good with the piece at the back here, and that's what we will use to activate him. And just as a quick demo of the action.
Oh, I don't feel so good.
So this is kind of what we're going for here. And now that we've got the hole in the top of the barrel a little larger, that will nicely accommodate our funnel to collect said vomit, and at least he'll have something to aim at. Now we're preparing the vomit reservoir, so we're just using an old juice container. You can get those at a dollar store nice and cheap. And we put a couple holes in the top, larger one for the hose, smaller one for the electrical power, and then we'll use the actual spout for the return from the funnel when we're set to go. So we'll put our pump in, and then we'll feed our electrical power through the small hole. And now that we've got that through, we can pull the power cord for the pump through. And now we'll put the hose for the vomit up through the center. And there we have the finished reservoir, which we can fill up with our fake vomit for the pirate. And it'll also be a little quieter because it's all nicely sealed. And here's the reservoir. We filled it up with some water. We have our return tube coming in from the funnel. That's the green one here. Our feed hose, we've left it long for the time being just for testing. And our power, which will hook up to a power supply. And we're hoping he's ready to go. We're just giving him a little costumizing to kind of complete the test. And well, we'll drag him outside and see how big of a mess we make. So here we're letting the pump basically free run as long as it wants here. One adjustment we had to do was we had to pull the return tube up slightly. There was some air bubbles coming down through it, and the pump is actually so strong that it will suck up the air bubbles if they're too close to the intake. So we had to bring it up a little bit just so it wouldn't draw air all the time. Other than that, it seems to be working brilliantly. We've got the liquid coming up through the inside of the tube here, and around and up under his shirt, and a puking he will go. Boo! Oh, ha ha ha! Our puking pirate is finished.
Oh no, pirate's life for me. Oh.
So we got a small pair of speakers down by his feet just behind the barrel for the sound effects. That includes vomiting and the
Seasick on dry land, how does that happen?
and of course we have the motor mechanism back here. And once that kicks over,
I can't take much more of this. The boat keeps moving.
now we're using the park feature for this, so we actually time it so that it rotates a couple of times. That gives us some really good heaving action.
Oh no, pirate's life for me. Oh.
Oh yeah, we're losing quite a bit of that water.
Stuck underneath him we have the PC power supply that runs everything. And then from there we have our little timer. We have the timer that connects to our relay board, which triggers our motor and our sound effects. And then we have the sound effects board actually in a little plastic bag to hold its little set of batteries and to keep it dry because it's a little more delicate. So here's our finished puking pirate. We threw a black wig on him and a mask to cover up his face a little better. You can still see his nasty one good eye poking out there, and unfortunately you can see his breakfast poking out here.
Seasick on dry land, how does that happen?
So about every 25-30 seconds or so he's hurling his lunch here. We've got the bucket placed in the bottom here with a dribble tray as the vomit finishes here.
I can't take much more of this. The boat keeps moving.
And there he is.
Oh no, pirate's life for me. Oh.
Anyways, no pirate's life for him, but if you like pirates, make sure you check out Pirates Cove. And if you got any questions about this build or anything else, by all means send us an email. Check us out on Facebook and our YouTube channel where you're probably watching this. In the meantime, you stay safe and have fun.